Hey, what is up there, guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of The Evolve. How you guys doing on today? You know what? I'm doing all right. Hey, yesterday was my birthday, so there was that. But anyway, let's just get right into it. Royce the 5'9", he sat down for about an hour and 30 minutes to talk to Nick Cannon on his Cannon show class type deal, he called it. So we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna play it, and we're gonna react and see what they're talking about and all that other good stuff. Anyway, let's just jump right into it. Play.
Man, oh man, if this, I can already feel this is gonna be a classic one because I'm in the presence of royalty. And I say that sincerely, that's a new shit. Sincerely and seriously, because man, I've looked up to this brother and is truly an orator, a wordsmith, and one of the best MCs that I've ever witnessed in hip hop. And I feel like this is long overdue, just based.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip all the nonchalant, pampering, ball juggling type deal of Royce the 5'9", so we can get right into what they're gonna go ahead and talk about. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead.
Of my brother Royce the 5'9".
Brother.
Man, peace, King.
Yeah, brother, my dear.
Man, we here in Detroit. We got the royal setup, and man, we got so.
Yeah, the Kings do got the royal setup. Moving on.
Much to unpack, so much to talk about. But I mean, let's shoot, all the elephants in the room and all that stuff. Like, I feel like my first question just off the top, because I know I feel away, but I have to ask you, man, how tired do you get about talking about Eminem all the time? Because I know I get tired of having to talk about how tired is like, man, I want to talk about that right now.
Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? Look, I don't want to talk about him. How tired are you talking about him? Let's talk about how tired we are talking about this guy that we're tired of talking about. That's a pretty interesting way to talk about him. Why am I not surprised this was going to be the very first topic? I don't make this up. I'm just watching it. This is not edited. I'm just playing it from the beginning, people. Okay, so Nick Cannon is tired of talking about him. So the first thing he gonna do with Royce the 5'9" is let's talk about how tired we are of talking about him. All right. I'll bite. Let's hear how tired you are.
I don't think I look at it a little bit differently, man. Like, I'm usually okay with things when I can wrap my brain around them and I can unpack them. And this is what I came up with. Like, he's put up. So he's not one of those guys that's using his platform to speak, so he doesn't say much. So usually when he speaks, it comes out through his music.
Right.
So it's something about people, man, and fame. They look at famous people like they're something other than human beings.
Right.
So I think with him, he's been famous for so long. There's people who've never seen him.
Right.
They only know of him from on their TV screen, so they look at him like this enchanted, like unicorn.
Right.
So when they hear me speak and they hear me speak about him, I speak about him. I call him Marshall. I talk about him like he's a regular person.
Right.
And I think they like hearing me speak about him in such a regular way. I think that's interesting to them.
Facts.
So, so when his name comes up and I'm just talking about him and I'm talking about all the normal things that we do with one another and all the normal things that we talk about, I just think that's intriguing to some people.
Huh? What? Come again? Unicorns and super famous, and I sit down and he's a regular guy, and what? I don't know how to respond. Let's move on.
Nah, I get it. I feel you. And I think too, and even the reason why I bring it up at the beginning, because it's my hopes and goals that even after, our conversation, that I don't want to talk about the so-called beef and all that stuff. Like, I never wanted to talk about that, but I understand why when I do interviews, or even I'll do an interview 2.5 hours long, the headline to come out. Nick Cannon says, I'm like, I was not talking. Y'all asked me about this, man.
That's how I was. When
Come on, Royce, you gotta understand, man. I hope the so-called beef that we had, the beef, I hope this is it. I hope I ain't gotta talk about him no more. I never wanted to talk about him, never. That first diss track, never. That second diss track, never wanted to do that. That third diss track, never wanted to do that. I didn't want to make a diss song. I didn't want to get on TI podcasts. I never wanted to talk about the beef for my wife. When I went to Detroit walking the streets of 8 Mile, never.
when me and Marshall had our thing, we went like damn near 10 years without speaking.
Wow.
And during those 10 years, I was like that. I didn't want to talk about him.
Yeah.
I just felt like you run the risk of saying something that can be misconstrued as something.
For those of y'all who want to know what Royce is talking about, the whole 10 years of not talking about Eminem and not talking to Eminem, that was between the whole D12, that was in the 2000s. I did a whole series on that. There's like 8 parts, so check it out.
Then like I just wanted it to go away.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was overshadowing things. But you know,
Right.
once we got back cool, it was like I realized that they were gonna want to talk about that. And when you have an association with somebody that's like legendary, for lack of a better term,
right?
You know, like I came into the game, he put me into the game. So
right.
It's like we came in, connected with one another. There's
Y'all hear what he said there? Hey, so all y'all that always get mad when y'all be hearing Eminem fans and those stands be saying, hey, you know, it was because of Eminem, you know, Royce is in the game and whatnot. That, you know, Royce got that spark. They hate when you say that. Royce had it before him. Royce was that dude before him. Eminem didn't do nothing. Well, Royce just said it out of his mouth himself. Eminem put me in the game. It doesn't get no more clear than that, but I know people, you know, Royce fans are going to twist it. They're going to be like, you don't know what you're talking about. He met this in the tranquil metropolic, insignificant up the purport. Shut up.
Associate us with like group work, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we're being lyricists and we're part of each other's story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And I get it. And that's the thing for me where I was always a fan from the gate. But then for it to like turn into this weird thing, I was like, dude, don't really affect my life like that. But I understand why the media or even people are so impressed by it. So I'm like, all right, well, how much of this do I just be like, fuck it, it's entertainment, we're going to play into it, it's hip hop and all of that. But then it's like, I'm pretty sure he's like why do motherfuckers keep talking about me?
What? Finally? After 15 years, after 15 sessions, finally one of them found out the biggest question that they always ask, why Eminem talk about me? Why Eminem diss me? Finally you said, imagine Eminem was just like, why they keep talking about me? I know Eminem was getting, y'all hear what Nick said? I imagine it was like, why do I keep talking about him? Thank you, Nick. You found it out. Why he made the diss on you. What was it on Fat Joe's, I can't think of him's verse. Anyway, man, I'm just getting up there, guys. Well, I'm gonna stop right there. I think you guys are watching. You know what? I do want to say this about Nick Cannon, is that, you know, it's good that he's pushing, you know, his whole class, his whole podcast. I may not be a extreme fan, but I give credit and I give honor where honor's due. And it's good that he's like off of him, a person like him is kind of off that whole Vlad, because again, he is, contrary to popular beliefs, he is a very educated figure. He has a lot of intelligence in which he can pass down. It just needs to kind of be directed in a certain area, an avenue, and it can, it can help. It can help people out there. Like I said, he is not a dumb, ignorant, stupid figure. Like he does have intelligence, and all that time that he's on somewhere like Vlad talking about his turbine, or talking about Eminem, or talking about Mariah Carey, or walking the streets of 8 Mile, it's just a waste of his intelligence. It's just a waste of everything that he has studied, went to Harvard for, that he has doing, and the dude's got a lot of money and he's got a lot of experience, and he's been through a lot of different stuff. Coming from wanting to be a producer, a rapper, a singer, an artist, Nickelodeon, Wildin' Out, and that transformation into this guy. Like, there's so much he can talk about and so much he can bring. And like I said, being on a platform, far as what he just said, entertainment, far as entertaining for Vlad TV, is just a waste. And I think until we start realizing those wasteful moments in our lives, we can't really move forward. We can't really do things in our lives. But other than that, there's that. I just want to say thank you guys for watching. As always, man, I should probably see you guys a little later on. We'll see. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. If not, as always, KIP, keep it positive.